Hey everybody, welcome back to another brand new video. It's your boy Frenzypool here, and we are going to kick off with the Marvel Future Fight guides that I mentioned in my previous videos. And this is part 1 of the guide, and in today's video we are going to discuss about the characters in Marvel Future Fight. So I thought this should be the beginning to know about all the characters in the game. You have 210 characters released up to now, and they have been divided into combat, blast, speed and universal characters. So this video can be helpful for those beginning players and also the intermediate players. I have prepared a stat sheet of my experience playing this game with the characters, and I have arranged these characters based on their power levels and also how easily they can be acquired from the game. And some of those characters which are not there in my roster at the moment right now, I tested them out in the pre-update APK that I got for the January update. So overall I have played with most of the characters in the game right now, and I hope this stats list will help out a lot of players. So without making you guys wait, let's just go straight into the list. Now this is the characters list, and I also have mentioned their leaderships also and how you can acquire them. So it's like a complete list about everything you need to know about the characters. So this is up to the update 5.7, that's for this month. So I have added in the Warriors of the Sky characters too, and then about the short keys also I have mentioned from which game mode they can be acquired, like if it's Dimension Mission, World Boss, Epic Quest, it goes on. And then I also have listed out some of the character traits using some of the emoji icons to identify them. There's the leadership, and then there's self-healing characters, and then World Boss strikers. Now World Boss strikers are important to climb the higher stages of World Boss ultimate battles. And then there's the supporters. Now supporter are characters who boosts your main character in the team up. Okay, I will be talking about that later. And then uniforms for characters which are needed. There are some characters in the game which definitely require the uniforms to increase their productivity. And then the last one is the icon for having a tier 3. Now there are 21 tier 3s in the game right now, and this icon gives you an idea about which all characters have their tier 3s unlocked. Now as you guys are looking at this list here, towards the left is the free section. Okay, you get these biometrics freely. The first 4 columns are really free, and then as you move towards the right, they are either really hard characters to rank up and build. To the extreme right, what you see is the premium bio section. You have to purchase monthly subscription packs to get those characters. Now as you go into the store, you can see there are 2 packs. One is the biometric packs for this list of characters here, and then is the X gene pack for this list of characters. So they are mainly money based characters in this column in the end. Now this must look like a pretty big list with a lot of description, but if you look closely, those descriptions are just mentioning how you can acquire those characters and also what the cost are for those characters, and in some cells it's their leadership skill that I have mentioned. Okay, now going to the left column, the extreme left, free to farm biometrics. Now this column contains characters which are free to build, and all the way at the top is definitely Sharon Rogers, a completely free to play character. You get her tier 2 all the way, completing the Shield Academy, and bioselectors can be used on her for extra biometrics to rank up her uniforms. And in this column it is definitely Sharon Rogers at the top. She has a tier 3 and she is also a really good character, and with the latest uniform she also has a heal, and she is a free tier 2 character when you complete the Shield Academy. So one of the best characters that any beginner player must have is Sharon Rogers. okay, when you begin the game. She is the best in the game. And then I followed that up with Shuri, because you need supporters in the game. And if you can skip that if you want, and you can go directly into characters that you want to play with. That will be followed by the latest additions in the game. Now Shadow Shell, War Tiger, all are really good characters. And Shadow Shell also biometrics are available from the Shield Academy. And then there's Iron Hammer, Gorilla Man. There's a lot of characters. You can use bio selectors that you get from the Shadowland. Now what are bio selectors? Now this is just for those beginners out there. This is a bio selector, okay, and these bio selectors can be used on characters that are in that free to farm bios column. Okay, as you can see, Captain America is there. So this is the biometric selector, and the biometric selectors can be used for characters all the way up to the legendary battle column here. These three columns, you can use the biometric selectors for those characters. And as you go down the order, the damage is less, and I think up to Mantis is a really good list that you can farm the biometrics and build the characters, because up to Mantis you get a really good roster of characters who can play World Boss Ultimates and also Shadowlands and other game modes too. So that is the free to farm bios section. And now talking about supporters. Now Shuri, the second character on this list, is a supporting character. Now what is a supporting character? Again, this is just for those beginner players. So a supporter is actually an extra gun that helps you to win battles. Okay, as we go in here, we'll just take Shuri itself. Now when you go to the skills, this is a tier 2 passive, increasing damage dealt to supervillains by 45%, decreased damage received from the supervillain by 35%. This helps out the character in your team up, to increase their damage. Now Shuri needs her uniform for this passive, and then the other character who has a passive is Coulson, also having the same supervillain type characters by 45%, increasing the damage. So these are support characters that I was talking about. Now support can be different for some characters. Now Shuri, Coulson, Wave, and then Valkyrie, these are some of the characters which has that support. And then White Fox also has the support, but it's slightly complicated. I will get to that later. So that's the first column here. Now going to the second column, the Dimension Shop biometrics. Now these biometrics are available from, when you go into the Dimension Shop here, the support shop, you have a big list of characters biometrics that you can acquire. Now this list has been increased in this January update because of the changes in the story mode. The previous story mode was completely removed, and this was the option that they have given to acquire the biometrics. So that is the columns 2 about. And also the first 3 characters are Captain America, Black Widow, and Iron Man, and I have put them on the top over there because these characters are free from the story mode and also really good characters in this list, to play the higher levels. Now Black Widow is not so much, but it's good to rank her and build her because her movie is dropping in a few months and she will be getting a major upgrade. We hope she gets a major upgrade, and maybe a tier 3 too. So that's why I have placed Black Widow over in the top. And then there's Phil Coulson, Venom, and with the anti-venom uniform, a really good supporter. He has a heal also, and when put in the team up or as a striker, he increases survivability with his blobs, which you can collect for survivability. And then there's Wasp also with the uniform. All these characters require the uniform. Hela also has a good leadership. These are leadership based characters that I've listed out to farm for first, because you need leaders for the game modes. And then there's a lot of characters. Then there's Winter Soldier, Falcon out there in the top because their series will be dropping in this year, so they also will be getting some upgrades. And then some of the cool characters. And then there's some interesting leadership characters out here. There's Lincoln Campbell here. 60% increase of lightning damage. Now that is huge, and the character who can benefit from that is Thor. Thor is one of the characters who can benefit this leadership. So some interesting leaderships out there in the Dimension Shop biometrics. So that's about that. Now talking about the legendary battle free. Now these 7 characters, you get them right at 6 stars when you play the legendary battles. You get Thor when you play the Ragnarok legendary battle, Spider-Man from the Infinity War, Ant-Man from the Ant-Man and the Wasp, Mysterio from the latest Far From Home, and also War Machine and Black Panther. So these characters you get all the way 6 star. Okay, and a lot of these characters in this list also has their tier 3s, and the character who most benefits from the tier 3 is of course Captain Marvel. If Captain Marvel is to be tier 3, you also need that CDP of Rage, which is the only thing that helps out her. And then that list is followed by Thor. Thor also has a tier 3, and with his uniform, the endgame uniform, he is a really cool character to play with. This is a free to play players list of tier 3s in the legendary battle. Okay, Captain Marvel, Thor, Spider-Man, Ant-Man. Spider-Man is also really cool character to play with his tier 3 too. And you know, if you guys are free to play and you need a really cool tier 3 character, this should be a really good list that you can look up to. And also the cost of tier 3 is also really less for these characters compared to the ones that is going to come up. So it's a really good list. Now Mysterio is also a really good character, and I wanted to place him above in this list, but he's also a really good character. You guys can invest in him. And then Black Panther, even with the tier 3, is a really bad choice, so that's why he is all the way at the bottom. And then the 4th column is the Epic Quest biometrics. Now Epic Quest biometrics, you get all these characters only from the Epic Quest game modes, and the bioselectors cannot be used on some of these characters because they are X-Gene characters like Cyclops, Beast and all. And the other way you can get their biometrics is from the Danger Room, and I have mentioned that also in this list over here. Now Cyclops is placed way in the top because he has a tier 3, and with his latest uniform he has become an absolute beast. He has a heal, and he's also a really good supporter. Now let's just see what I'm talking about. His leadership skill is 35% of all attacks. That's a really good leadership. Plus his passive 30% increase of energy attack. So that stacks up a lot of attack. Energy plus this all attack, it's giving a huge bump to whatever character is placed with him, and a really good advantage for energy dealing characters. So that's one of the reasons why Cyclops is up there, plus his tier 3 also unlocked. And then Human Torch follows up with a really good character. The list goes on as you go down. Those are characters that you don't need to rank up, but you do need to rank them up for the Epic Quest completing purposes. But you know, I'm talking about the later building part. After you complete the Epic Quest, don't concentrate on those characters for now. Okay, Rogue is also different now with her new uniform. And then Beast, of course, for that massive leadership skill of 50% physical attack with the uniform also. And then Ancient One also, you don't need the uniform for Ancient One for that leadership. And now coming to the column of the crystal packs and rare biometrics. Now this is a mixed bag because the characters in this column is based on, you know, their importance for the game, and I have arranged it in a different order because it's all choices that you make. Now if you are looking for supporters, White Fox, Wave, you can go for their heroic quests. Now heroic quests is available in the missions tab, the last game mode that you can find, and the best crystal worthy packs are White Fox and Wave. Don't go for Arak Knight, he is not what you need to waste your resources on right now. And then following it up with some of the crystal packed characters: Sabertooth, Blue Dragon, As you go into the store, this is where you will be purchasing the crystal packed characters. This list of characters which will be over after today's reset, and then the original characters are Blue Dragon, Emma Frost, Sabretooth and Iceman. These are the official crystal packed characters in this update, and you get to purchase these characters with a beginning of 2500 crystals. As you can see with Iceman here, you get him right at 6 stars, and then for the second purchase it becomes 2250 crystals to get those 160 biometrics and some of the resources to rank up the characters, their gears, to make them tier 2. So it takes, I think, about 2 to 3 or 4 purchases. If you're lucky, it's 3 purchases. The worthy ones in this are just Sabretooth. With his new uniform, he has become a really good character, and then Blue Dragon too, because of her leadership, which helps out the various group up, and also a really good character to play with. So that's the list about the crystal packs, having the heroic quest packs at the top over there, and then Sabretooth and Blue Dragon. And then if you are looking for the strikers, now Negasonic and Rachel Summers, these are striker characters for the World Boss Ultimate. Negasonic is available for 4500 crystals in the danger room, the training pack. You get her right at tier 2 when you purchase the pack and play the danger rooms. And then there's Rachel Summers. Right now her biometrics are only available from the chests that you get from the danger room, so it's really hard or rare to get those biometrics. The same goes with Kid Omega too. And then as we come down the order, you can see Satana there. Now Satana, you get her biometrics from the epic quest, but they are really rare. She comes as a ally in the game. So the same thing goes with Hellstorm also, and also Colossus is also a ally in the epic quest. Then there's this Ultimates list of Anti-Man, Nova and Blue Marvel. Their biometrics are available from the Shield Lab. That's the only free area where you get the biometrics from. Now let's have a look at that. This is just for the beginner players. As we head out into the lab, there is the processor where you can produce the biometrics of the characters. Now when we click in the universal one here, you guys can see there's Nova, Blue Marvel and also Anti-Man. Their biometrics are available from this freely, and this is a long process, I know, but this is the only free way you can get these biometrics, or you can use the rank up tickets to rank them up. We'll have a talk about the rank up tickets later. And then there's this X Gene section where you can get Kid Omega biometrics for free. Also Nightcrawler, his biometrics are also really rare to farm. And then there's X23, she's also a character just like that. So that's the list about the rare biometrics characters. Here you can see X23 is also available from the Shield Lab, and also Danger Room is also another area where you can get the biometrics from. Now here Blue Marvel has a little bit of text in here. Now Blue Marvel is free for the beginner players. With the change of the story mode, Blue Marvel is now available for beginner players as 6 star, and players who are back in the game and haven't finished the old story mode completely can get Blue Marvel for 6 stars. And for others to rank them up, his biometrics is only available from the Shield Lab. So this is the column of rare biometrics and the crystal packs. And now we are down to 2 more columns to complete, and the second last column is the native tier 2. Now native tier 2 characters are the characters that you get right away at tier 2. You get them at 1 star sometimes, or you get them all the way to 6 stars. That's by playing the epic quest. Now Doctor Strange is high in the list. This list, the top characters, the first 7 characters are the best characters, and I cannot differentiate between them. The power levels sometimes can be equal or different based on their build and all, but the ones you see in the top over here are the characters that you would really look forward to building up. Strange, a really great character with the CDP of Rage, and has the tier 3 is so massive. He is an epic quest unlock. You get him completely at 6-star, fully built when you complete the epic quest. And then this Jean Grey, you get her from the deluxe pack in the epic quest. Quicksilver is a world boss unlock. With her release of his tier 3, he has also become a massive character. Deadpool, with the latest uniform, the holiday event, he has become a beast with it. Sorry, she has become a beast with it. And then Apocalypse is also a really good investment. Silver Surfer, Thanos, Mr. Fantastic, Cable, Scarlet Witch is a really good striker and also a really good character to play with. And then Doom, I think with Doom we can stop the list over there. And when you go down there, it's pretty much nothing. The characters are not so great. Wolverine is a good character, but if you're a fan of this character, you guys can go ahead. And that Magneto is not a really good one. Even with the tier 3, he is helpless. And then we go down. Ebony Maw is a really good striker for the world boss. He's a really good character. And Strife is a good character in the timeline battle. He is a PvE character mostly. And then down the order, it's pretty much blank. Okay, these characters, don't even try getting these characters. Now Dormammu, Adam Warlock, these are available as crystal packs, but don't go for those characters. They are native tier 2. You need a lot of resources to build them up. And Odin is free for beginners. And also, just like Blue Marvel, if you haven't finished the Asgardian story mode, the old Asgardian story mode, you will be getting Odin freely. So that is the section about the native tier 2s in the game. A really interesting section to look forward to. If you are a new player and you need a really strong tier 3, this is the section that you need to come to, the native tier 2s. And another massive one will be only Sharon Rogers over there in the extreme left. Alright, now coming to the premium section. Now this is all about money. We are going to talk about the last column, premium biometrics. Now if you are intending on purchasing the packs, you should be concentrating on these characters way over on the top. Now if you're going for just the normal biometric selector monthly subscription, Nick Fury or Luna Snow or Crescent. Now Nick Fury, 50% of all attacks, plus he is also a supporter. Now this is just for those new players over there. As you can see, the leadership is 50% increase of all attacks, and then his tier 2 passive, increasing damage to the supervillain types by 50%, which is massive. He gets, it's like 2-in-1. He is a 2-in-1 character. And another thing that you can do is you can unlock Nick Fury from the legendary battle of Captain Marvel for 2500 crystals. And this is a good thing for the free to play players. You guys can go ahead and get his leadership, just unlocking him all the way to 6-star from the legendary battle. And as for the biometrics, you have to purchase the premium set, the premium subscription pack, to get him to tier 2 to get that supporter passive. And then undoubtedly Luna Snow, massive character, just like Sharon Rogers, original character from the game, a really good tier 3. The latest uniform also is a really huge advantage. And then Crescent, with her tier 3 this month, she has become a really good character with a lot of damage. What a hike that has been for Crescent with the tier 3 skill. And then Namor, you need the X Gene pack to get this character. The X Gene packs are really costly, and he is one of the best characters in that list right now, followed by a striker, Weapon Hex and Gambit. These would be the best options to go for if you are purchasing the X Gene pack. Weapon Hex is a massive striker. You guys must have seen videos of agents tackling the higher stages of World Boss Ultimate just with Weapon Hex. She has become a big impact in that game mode. And then Ghost Panther is also really good with the leadership skill, plus he is a really good supporter too. And now some of these characters biometrics are available from the Dimension Missions support hero setup that they have started this month. Now Crescent and Luna Snow, Ghost Panther, Weapon Hex, Gambit, I will show you guys what that is. The dimension missions, this is the support character section, and the fifth character in this is a premium character that you can get free biometrics for. Now this is the list of these characters. Some of the characters are missing in this. There is no latest premium characters like Slapstick, Nick Fury, Arrow, Electro, some of these characters, and then exchange characters like you don't have Neymar, Kitty Pryde, Jubilee. Some of these characters are also not available, but if you can get hold of this character, will be really good. Weapon Hex or Ghost Panther, Crescent, really big advantage for the new players, and also free to play players too, because if you are not spending money, that's your ticket to get the premium characters. So this is pretty much the list. Now Colossus is a really good character. I have placed him here because he is really good for PvE, a really good supporter, a really good striker. I think he is a must have in the team. And then Valkyrie with her support characteristic. I wanted to put Sunbird a little bit lower because I haven't got a really good result playing with him, and that's pretty much about the premium setup. Now as you go down, this is a really waste of money for the characters after Ironheart. After Ironheart, this is a waste of characters. Okay, I don't know much about Jubilee too. I haven't tested her out much. And then these are just for the leadership skills, Hyperion and Ironheart. Ghost for the leadership skill, you get to unlock her from the legendary battle too, just like Nick Fury. And then Kitty Pryde, exchange pack, but 55% of all attack just for the mutant allies. Some of the leaderships are for some of the characters. Now for example, Magneto's leadership only applies to the mutant allies, and then there's Mr. Fantastic, whose leadership only applies to the Fantastic Four allies. And with that last column, I am going to conclude this video. This is the entire list of the characters in the game, and you guys can have a rough look at which all are the good ones, because almost everything has been described, their leadership qualities, and if they're a supporter or a striker, and about the uniforms needed. So I hope this helps out a lot for those new players and also the intermediate players. And we really need a guide for this game because this game is huge. More videos will be coming out. This is part 1 of this Marvel Future Fight guide, and the coming up videos there will be a video only for the uniforms, because uniforms are really important. They are crystal purchased items, and only some of the uniforms are the best ones, which improves the character a lot. So that is a separate video which has to be done, the uniform section, based on the current update. And then we have a lot more to cover up, the game modes, and then the building of the characters, the steps involved in getting your character to the best extreme way you can, and then about the farming of resources and everything. There is a lot to be covered. So this is part 1 of this Marvel Future Fight guide. If you guys enjoyed the video, do not forget to post your opinions in the comment sections below, and also help out if you want any improvements in this list, or if I have missed out anyone. And until the next time guys, take care and enjoy the game to the most.